Fellas, what's going on? This is going to be my most valuable video I've published on my channel about Amazon KDP. It's all about how to double your sales through this business model. And basically what it's about is how to differentiate yourself from the competition in order to extract, the maximum profits from this business, from this keyword that you have targeted inside the business. Now, first things first, guys, when it comes to this business, if we're going to get involved in a profitable keyword, a profitable asset here, we may as well create a really good book where the customer obviously chooses ours over the rest, right? Now, there has to be a process that you take in order for the customer to say in their head, this is a no-brainer decision. I'm going to pick your book over the people that, you're competing with. Ideally, you want them to answer that and make it a real easy decision to pick yours over the rest. And there's a certain way to go about doing that, right? You can make a 7 out of 10 book and match their quality in terms of the competition and get a bit of sales. But if you take this approach, you're going to smash it and you're going to clean them. Now, basically what the approach is if you give so much value compared to them, you're going to steal all the sales. You must differentiate yourself and you must go high quality if you want to do this and you want to take this approach. Okay. Now, first things first, going into how to differentiate yourself, going into how to create so much quality that it is a no-brainer decision for the customer. There's a few things that you need to do in order to make this reality and make it happen. The first thing is you need to do deep research into your customer, right? Find out what keeps them up at night and pisses them off, so you know their exact main pain points. So when it comes to giving value, you know exactly what to provide to them, so that when they do go and buy your book, they know that the book, and they feel like the book is for them because you're answering all the problems and you're bringing up those things. All right. So look for the buzzwords, look for the things they're complaining about, look for the things they want to hear, and do a deep dive in terms of your research. Don't just look at bad and good reviews on Amazon in terms of your competitors. Go on to YouTube comments, go onto forums, go into anything you possibly can to understand these customers inside that keyword that you're going to jump into. Obviously, you want to give insane value, and you must go hard on the investment in terms of the book cover, right? Now, in terms of what you want to break it down into is ideally the 10 most important things, from most common painful to least, right? So you must have a list of things where it's like, okay, this is the most painful thing for the customer. This is the second most, right? As long as you have a full list of 10 things that piss them off or that they hate or they want to get solved, as long as you have that list of 10, you should be able to offer a lot of value for these people. Now, in terms of value adding, right, and ideas you can use to make your book not just be another book inside that keyword that's just a general guide or solution to their problem, right, where you add insane value, is taking this approach, right? Adding bonuses, 5 bonuses, 10 bonuses, or extras included in the book, right? That's a good selling point to add in. Large print, if you see your customers want it or they're complaining about it. Putting your book in color. Going the easy or tasty or the quick or the simple method of being able to do this, right? Obviously, people want those types of approaches when it comes to solutions. Maybe adding in video tutorials into your book is going to create, more of a reason to buy yours over the rest. Audio, right? Sometimes there's an approach where you can add in some audio bonuses or an audio format of the book where the customer will be like, okay, that's pretty good value. That's good that's included. Extra exercises for whatever it is, right? Obviously, this depends on the topic of your book and what you're getting into, but you kind of get the idea, right? Another rattling off again in terms of ideas like meal plans, cheat sheets, an interactive map, shopping lists, trackers, right? This depends on the niche, but you must find these things that are kind of something that your customer's going to want, or they're going to be like, cool, that's really cool that I get that as well just by buying this book on Amazon, right? So make the bonuses align with your offer and connect it to what they would love to have, or connect it to those problems that we said before in terms of their top 10, right? Now, for example, let's say it's a cookbook, right? And you wanted to do keto diet for beginners cookbook. Obviously, if you're just another keto diet for beginners cookbook, you might make $20, $30 a day, but what you want to be aiming for is below 10,000 BSR, right? You want to be the best on the market, extracting the most profits possible from that asset. There's only one way you're going to be able to do that, right? And that's by adding in more shit, adding in more answers, more bonuses, more value, right? So for example, an idea for a cookbook could be shopping list included, weight loss tracker included, meal plan ideas, themed recipes, photos in color, bonus budget meal plan ideas, in large print, right? Whatever they're complaining about, whatever you know your customers are going to want, you throw it in there, you stick it on the cover, you put it in your title, you put it in your description, and you let them know that they're going to get that as well. All right. Now, in terms of showcasing the value, I just slightly went over this, but you need to put your most value points, like the hardest hitting ones, in your title and on your book cover as stickers. Okay. Anything outside of the top 5 selling points that make the no-brainer decision should be added to your description and be well known there. Okay. Now, let's dive into an example of what I mean by all of this and kind of just a comparison of what's average book, what most people are doing, and what's a really hard-hitting book that is going to make way more money. So here we've got 2 listings inside of this DBT, CBT, ACT workbook. Okay. Now, both kind of similar books, right? But different in terms of the bonuses that are included. So right now, you're probably doing this approach, right? You found a cool, profitable keyword, you made a book on it, you did your description, and maybe you're making 40,000, 80,000, maybe even a 20,000 ranking, right? This guy's doing $90 a day through this approach, right? Which is just the stock standard approach, decent, but it's like a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. You have the other side where you can add bonuses, you can add value, and you can do everything we just spoke about. And that includes what this guy's done here. As a good example, he's added bonuses, approved by a therapist, 180 plus exercises, 3-in-1, 6 extras included, a really good quality book cover that's clean, right? 6 free and exclusive bonuses are included. Therapist approved at the top here. In the description, he's gone into detail what the bonuses are. If you're a customer and you type in this keyword because you want to know more about this problem, right, to solve your issues, as a customer, you need to put yourself in the customer's shoes and kind of just think about what they're going to think, right? Because there's 2 books here on the same topic. They're both 3 books in one, right? So if you look at both of these books and you see all these bonuses here, the better cover, right, the in detail about what they're going to get, which one do you think the customer's going to choose? Obviously this one on the right, okay? In terms of what it's making, 200 a day, just under around, right? This is a rough estimate, but he's making double. This guy's making double what this guy's making. They did the same book. The content inside is probably the same, right? So what you need to understand about Amazon KDP is it doesn't actually fucking matter what's inside your book. What matters, well, it does a little bit, but what really matters is the front end. How good is your book cover? What is the value you have shown on the front end to your customer that you're going to give them? Once you've done that and you've obviously got a solid amount of reviews, which both of these guys have done, it's literally just a matter of taking that extra step, investing that little bit extra bit of time and money into a book that's going to make the difference between you doubling your sales or not, right? You can take the quick, easy method of what the left guy did and he's doing okay. He's probably happy making 3K a month or whatever it is. Or you can do what this guy's done on the right. And that is kind of the process that you should be taking leading forward into Amazon KDP as quality wins in this game. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. And then from there, guys, obviously this has got a bestseller tag. I wonder why that is, right? Obviously it's a compound effect. It's a snowball effect. And this is what's going to happen when you take the extra leap. Now, in terms of the book cover and where to add the value and what you should be doing here, guys, is obviously you want quality. Invest the most possible in a book cover. That needs to be the best of the best. It needs to stand out, right? Don't copy everyone else. It needs to be clean. You want bonuses present in the cover as stickers. You want a big, bold title. And as I said, you want it to stand out, right? Similar to what you just saw on that right-hand side example, you need to do a similar thing where it ticks off the boxes of all these things. And, you're going to be in the box seat. Now, everything done correctly just equals compound effect. And this is kind of what I was linking to before. The more and more sales you get, right, it all adds up into converting more customers, right? So if you add all the value points, you give your customer more of an incentive to buy your book. Obviously, you're going to get more sales. You're going to get more sales. Then you start getting ranked organically more by Amazon, right? They start pushing your listing more. They give you a bestseller tag, right? Because you've been ranking so well, you end up getting the bestseller tag. Then you have an extra compound effect. And then they give you a list price strike. So your book's cheaper than what it is, but you're still getting paid the profit margins that you were getting for the full list price, right? So as you can see, if you just take that extra step, invest that extra bit of money and go a little bit deeper in terms of your research, it all adds up and you'll just make so much more, right? It's almost just a pretty simple model at this point, but no one wants to take that extra step, right? It just equals maximum profit. One thing that I always talk about, one thing that you need to remember out of this game is less is more. It doesn't matter how many books you publish. You could publish one book and it can make 10K a month if you get in the right keyword and you follow this approach. Ideally, if you can just do less books but go above and beyond in terms of quality, you are going to kill it in this game. Now, the other thing when it comes to that, if you're going to go quality and you're going to invest hard in this asset, what you want to do is hit keywords that have a really good ranking, not just a good ranking. So this whole 80K BSR, 60K BSR, throw it in the bin. If you're going to go all in, you're going to invest more, and you're going to take this approach, you can start heading into some big shark keywords where we're looking at under 10K BSR, right? We want to start hitting the books that are making $200, $300, $400 a day. And obviously, you're just going to get way more money in terms of the investment you make. But remember, high risk, high reward. So most people want to take a budget-friendly approach. They don't want to invest that extra 500, that extra K. But if you go deep rather than wide, you're going to get pretty strong results. So that's kind of the basis of how I think you should be going about the business. If you want to take it seriously and you're pretty advanced in this game, you want to take it, above and beyond and get to 15, 20 plus K a month. Other than that, obviously, if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comments. I do private one-to-one coaching. If that's something you're interested in, there'll be a link in the description there, or just contact me on Instagram for more. All right. Thanks for watching the video. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.